No, 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 what we do? Tell me. He asked, and her sister turned her head. Hannah, what I do, huh? No, you are not good, Jimin. You are asking me all this, also find job and do, Jimin. But how can, I mean, I still didn't complete my studies, Hannah. So what? Do job in cafe, Jimin, please, huh? You are not kid. She said and roll her eyes. The 18 years old Jimin is in the edge of crying. Jimin, where I do job? Hana do job in some cafe as a waiter. You are not. You are not the son of a billionaire, huh? Your father left properties for you. Jimmy, Nona, he's my dad, please. Hana, so what my also? He didn't do anything for us. Why we care for him or not said anything? And if you are feeling like to be a good son, then go in your room and cry, she said. And you start to behave with me like this, you are changed, Nona. He sprang and then someone come. Jimin heard the voice. He looked up and see his brother and his mother. He wiped his tears and stand up. Mrs. Min went to him. Brother Balagona, Yoongi. Mrs. Min, everything become alright, son. Don't try. Jimin start to cry more. Mrs. Min, Jiminy, you are strong, right? Jimin, no, I am not. He said and crying more. Mrs. Min feeling so sad. Mrs. Min, okay, listen me. She make him sit on the couch and wipe his tears. Mrs. Min, I am with you, okay? So you no need to worry. I am your Oma. Jimin, why did you leave me? He asked, and Mrs. Min had clenched to heard. Mrs. Min, Jiminy, this is the rule of the world. Don't cry, please. Where is your Nona? And Jimin remember what Hannah said. He looking down. Jimin, she is in her room. Mrs. Min, you sit here. I talk with him. Yoongi, don't leave him alone, Yoongi. Yes, mom. And she go. Jimin is sobbing silently, and Yoongi is showing him. He is finally give up. Yoongi, can I sit here? Jimin nodded. Yoongi sits beside him, and he sees Jimin. Yoongi sees Jimin. We don't change the rule of the world, but we can do something. Jimin, what? He looked at Yoongi with this teary eyes. Yoongi, we can move on. Jimin looking down. Jimin looking down. Jimin, Yoongi, I know move on is so difficult, but still you have to. Jimin nodded. Jimin, can you give me a favor? He asked, and Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, yeah, said what you want. Jimin, my Nona, she's alone. Yoongi here, she can't believe he's the Jimin whom he know he's totally changed. He is totally Yoongi. I am already your Nana, Jimin, but now I want you to take him with you because if she stay alone, she cry. Yoongi, what about you? He asked, and Jimin stay silent for first. Jimin stay silent first. and then he speak and then he speak. Jimin, I have to be strong. I stay alone. Yoongi, really? You can? Jimin, yes, because now there is no one who stay with me and bear my stubbornness. Yoongi, who said I'm here? If one person go, it doesn't mean you forget others. Jimin look at him. Jimin, you just make one on happy. I don't want anything else. Yoongi, okay, I promise. I make her happy just for you. He said, and Jimin nodded, and again he started looking down. Jimin, don't tell anyone in university about my father, please. Yoongi, I will not, and you know well I don't take interest in someone's personal life. Both are silent now. Mrs. Min come out with Hannah. Jimin stand up. Mrs. Min, you sit here, Jimin. Hannah, you both come with us. How can you both stay alone? Jimin, you are still kid and also student, and Hannah, you are also kid. You are also kid still now. So you both come with us, Hannah. But Mrs. Minhana, this is your house, Jimin. I am sorry, Auntie. If Nana wants, she can go, but with you. But I can't, Mrs. Min Son. Jimin, I am sorry, Auntie. It's about my self-respect, Hannah. Jimin, you are still kids for saying all this. Jimin, I'm not kids, Nona. And then Hannah remembered what she said to him. Hannah, oh, okay, then it's your choice. Sorry, Auntie Jimin is not ready, so I can't come with you. Mrs. Min Jiminy, don't you listen me? Jimin, it's not about listen you, Auntie. See, my father never let us stay in someone's house or never make us spread our hands in front of someone. Then why now after him? So please, huh? Hope so you understand. Mrs. Min nodded. Mrs. Min, I do. Okay. Then you both stay here. If you want something, call us. Yoongi, thanks. Jimin, thanks, Auntie. Young is really feeling so happy after knowing Jimin point of view. Yoongi, good. Jimin, you such Simba. It's so easy to stay in someone's house, and it's so difficult to make your own name. But if you do, the whole world come and sit on your Yoongi. And after that, I also face so many things, but I don't spread my hand in front of anyone now. I am well-educated person and also independent. Hope so. You also be. He said in Jimin nodded. Yoongi, I'm always with you. If you want my help, call me, Hannah. Thank you so much, she said, and Yoongi nodded. Mrs. Min, okay, now we are going. I come again to meet you. Hannah, sure, Auntie. And she meets her and then meet with Jimin. And Yoongi last time look at Jimin and then he go. Hannah close the door and come. Hannah, what you did? Jimin, what, Hannah? Why you refused to go there, huh? How can you handle all this? How can you pay bills and other things? Your fees, Jimin. I do job, Nona. You no need to. Hmm. Self-respect. To be worried, Hannah. Oh, yeah. You do job, huh? You can't do anything. And we like this, Jimin. Nothing happened, Nona. We do job, and you know that keep some money for us. And moreover, I start to do job also. Also, so we spend our life peacefully. He said, and Hannah rolled her eyes, and I see how you complete my expenses. She said, and go in the room. Jimin sighed and sit on the couch. Jimin in mind, what is happening with Nona day by day? Why she is reacting like this, huh? She don't even care about dad respect. How can we go and start to live in their house? I understand they are Nona, but still she's not, and we don't know them. It's not easy to stay in someone's house, and moreover, Mr. Min is my professor. I can't stay in his house. If Nona wants, she go. I don't stop her. He think and also go in his room. यार ईमान फहद बारो है सिम्बा जी नहीं फहद सिम्बा Yoongi come out from the bathroom after fresh up. He sits on the bed and water drops are falling from his head. Yoongi, how can he stay now? His father so much, and with Hannah, I can't with her. I don't like her. I do just because of mom, but now he wants I make her happy, and also I do promise with him. But what I do now? I know Hannah is also not interested, but she is a type person. She is not like Jimin. I am stuck in all this. It's true. Jimin is my student. When I see him first time in class, and 2 years past, still I am with him. The way he smile, the way he laugh, he's perfect student. Also, he is good in everything, but she is not. He closed his eyes and lay on the bed, and then Mrs. Min come. Mrs. Min, can I come? Yoongi heard the voice. He sit on the bed. Yoongi, yeah, come. Yeah, come. She come and sits beside him. Mrs. Min, I'm feeling so sad for them, especially for Jimin. Young look at his mom, Mrs. Min. Hannah is still a independent girl, and also she have. But what about Jimin? Huh? He is alone. If I have one more son, I sure make him my son. Yoongi, you can if you want. She think Mrs. Min. Well, Yoongi, I want now you with Hannah. Now she is alone, Yoongi. And what about Jimin? Mrs. Min, I make him agree. He stay with us. I talked with Hannah already. She is happy now. She's happy. Now tell me about you, Yoongi mom. All of a sudden, Mrs. Min. Yes, son. All of a sudden, you have to her now. Yoongi is silent. She don't know what she said. No, Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, yes, mom. I am also ready, Mrs. Smith. Good. I'm proud of you, my son. She sat on his forehead and she go. Yoongi also lay on the bed and closed his eyes. यार मेरा वॉइस सोने दिल नहीं करता ईमान नहीं आई मेल हैं फिलहाल नहीं आई Jimin entered in the classroom. Jen, hey Jimin, you come. Jimin, Jen, are you okay? Your mood is off today. Jimin, about to speak. You no need to worry about it, Jen. Jen, oh come on, Tay. He's your best friend. We know. I'm just talking with him randomly. Tay, don't do randomly also. I don't like. He said, hold Jimin hand and go. Jimin signed to see and she go. Jimin signed to see him and they both sit on their usual seats. Tay, how are you? Jimin, I am fine, Tay. But what is all this? Don't do this, Tay. She have on you and you know well still. You said don't do this, Jimin. Okay, leave it. How are you? Tay, leave me tell me about you, Jimin. Me and Cookie is always with you, Jimin. I know, Tay. He said and sadly smiled. Tay feel bad for his best friend. If you want, I stay with you tonight. Jimin, please. He said and Jay nodded. JK, hey guys. Jimin, hello. JK, how are you, Jimin? Jimin, I am fine, guys. You no need to be worried for me, JK. And the trio sit and then Professor come. Jay, why Mr. Min don't come? Huh? Professor, so son, Mr. Min is late today, so I take your lecture. JK is late. How Jimin may be doing some preparations for what? Jimin Nona tell me I mean auntie talk with her she want to do and Nona said yes. I also don't have any problem. JK what the Jimin Jungkook JK I mean that much sudden and what about you? Jimin I stay at my house. Professor, you trio stand up chair. Oh God, Mr. Min know us, but they don't. But they don't. That's why I am. He mumble and the stand up JK. Sorry, sir. This happens first and last time. Professor, you both sit and you park Jimin. Why don't you come university from past 3 days? He said, and everyone look at Jimin. They also want to know Jimin. Sorry, such, but I tell Mr. Min about this. He's my in charge. He have to make my reports, Professor. Oh really? Then get lost. Come in the class when Mr. Min come. Okay, but sir, maybe he is not comfortable to tell. So please, Professor, you also want to go, huh? Actually, no, I don't send you, Jimin. Jimin, go alone. Alone, go, Jimin. JK, please, sir. Professor, don't you hear what I said? Spark, Jimin. He raised his voice. Jimin, leave it, guys. See you after lecture. Jay, but Jimin pick his bag and go. JK, he didn't did right with him. Jay, his attention is not good. I know. That's why he's doing all this. Jay is feeling so JK. Wait, I do something so we also go out. I can't leave Jimin like this. Jay, me to do something. Then JK, wait, I am doing. And then professors start to call their roll numbers, which is increasing tea and cook, and also they think they complain about him to their class in charge and said him to talk with him. Jimin is standing in the hallway. He rests his back on the back of the wall. Jimin, I don't know what Mr. Wang have problem from me. I don't do anything. Still, he did this with me. Why he is like this? Now also I know he did this intentionally. He signed and then Yoongi come. He says Jimin and first he is shocked. Jimin never stand outside from the class like this because Yoongi never took leave or late. Yoongi, Jimin, oh you come, Mr. Min. Yoongi, what are you doing here, Jimin? When you don't come to university, of course we all do this. Of course they all do this with me. Yoongi, I don't understand anything. Jimin, Mr. Wang asked me why I don't come university, and I said, I inform you, but she said me get lost from the class and I come. Yoongi, I don't understand what is Mr. Wang's problem. Jimin, don't know. Yoongi will come with me. Yoongi enter in the room and everyone stand up. JK see Jimin, Mr. Min come now. See, I tell sir about that wrong, Mr. Min. माशाल्लाह मैं यूंगी जगह लिखा है मिस्टर मिन मिस्टर वांग good morning good morning Mr. Wang, oh Mr. Min you come Yoongi yes and may I ask you the reason why you sent him out from the class Mr. Wang he don't have Mr. Min I asked him why he didn't come he didn't tell me Yoongi I know my student's nature Mr. Wang he may don't comfortable to tell you, Mr. Wang, still they are talking in the class. Yoongi look at Jungkook and Jae. This sign has no. Yoongi, huh, Mr. Wang, my student is not. You just don't know how to handle that. How to handle them. I will handle them. Now you can go. Thank you so much for giving your time, Mr. Wang. It's alright, Mr. Min. He said last time look at Jimin and go. Yoongi, go and sit on your seat. He said sit on his seat. Thank God. Jimin, now shut up. Yoongi, what I do with you guys, Jen? Why you come late, Yoongi? I am also human. I also get some important work. But what you guys did, Jen? We didn't do anything. He is the one who is pointing on us without any reason, Yoongi. Well, leave it. Now focus on your lesson. What we read last time, and then he started to give the lecture. And now it's time to go. Simbi check कर ला होए होए सिम्बा ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈ ਗਏ ਫਹਾ सिम्बा ਕਿੱਥੇ ਫਹਾ सिम्बा ਇਮਾਨ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਿਆ ਦੇਖ ਹੋਏ ਲਾ ਮੈਂ ਡਰ ਗਈ ਹੋਏ ਲਾ ਹਾਏ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿੰਬਾ ਨੂੰ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਸਿੰਬਾ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ ਹਾਂ ਹਾਏ Stay and cook. What job and for you? Jimin, relax guys. Whole world do job. Whole world do job. Why not me? JK, if you start to do job, how can you focus on your studies? मैंने लगा सामान बैग. Focus on your studies. Cook is right. No, studies is complete. Said him do job. Jimin, now he do studies. Jimin, now he do studies. And what I do after when she get now do job. Now she do. JK, why we help you, Jimin? We are your brothers. We are best friends forever. He is right. Jimin, I know, guys, and I am so blessed to have a friends like you. Friends like you, but still try to understand me. Please find a job for me. Otherwise, I can do by myself. JK, you. It's mean don't. JK, you. It's mean don't listen us now. Jimin, yes. JK, sign. JK, oh, okay. Then you can do job on my cousin cafe. Jimin, it's good. Time skip. Jimin start to do the job in the cafe. Jin treat him like his little brother. And Jimin also have a good bonding now with Jin and with Namjoon. They are just like a brothers. Jin don't let him do extra work because Jungkook tell him how much Jimin is sensitive to, and Jungkook come daily to meet Jimin, and they also help Jimin. Now also Jimin come from university. Jimin, Jinhyung, I come. Jin, oh you come. I thought you take leave today. Jimin, why Hyung? Jin, your exams is coming. You are in cook class, right? Jimin, yes. Hyung, and it's okay. I can do my work, Jin. But Jimin, I go home early. He said. Then Jin nodded. Jimin, now you sit. I do work. He said and smiled. Jin also smiled, and they start to do the work. And then some students come. They are not from Jimin University. They see Jimin. Jin also Jimin, you go on the other side, and so Jin nodded and go. Jimin go on the other side. Student 1, you go and send him. He sent and Jimin and go to Jimin. Surgeon, Jimin, they said you take the orders. He said in Jimin or Jimin, and you go. And then someone also come in the cafe. Jimin, yes sir, what you want? He asked from then, and the man eyes widened to see Jimin here and taking their orders. Yoongi, what he is doing here? He want to ask him. Yoongi, hey listen, what he is doing here? Surgeon, he is doing job here. His waiter, he said and go. Yoongi, you the waiter, how can he do a job like this? He said and see the boy. Yoongi, how dare he try to with him? He Jimin, excuse me sir, if you want something tell me. He said and Jimin feeling he about to go, and but the boy hold his hand. But the boy hold his hand. Boy, where are you going? Where are you going? He said and Jimin turned. Jimin, excuse me. He tried to free his hand, but she didn't leave. Yoongi, how dare he went to him and freed Jimin hand. Student number 1. Oh hero, who are you? Jimin shocked to see Yoongi. Jimin, Mr. Min, what are you doing here? He said and don't waste time. Jin comes Jin Jimin. Jimin, what happened? Are you okay? He asked and Jimin hug him. In the blink of eyes, he started crying and look at Jimin. Yoongi, what are you doing here? What is this, huh? You are doing job here? Jimin, Mr. Min, you no need to take interest in my life, so please, Yoongi, come with me. He said, hold Jimin's hand and drag him with him. So Jungkook already informed Jin about Yoongi. That's why he didn't stop Yoongi, and he said surgeon to call and do their complaint. Yeah, time. आज वॉइस ओवर जल्दी हो रहा। आज तो मेरा नावल पढ़ना ऐसा पढ़नी। आज तो मैं फ्री। Yoongi take Jimin in the car. Yoongi take Jimin in the car. He's continuously driving the car. Jimin, Mr. Min, stop the car. What are you doing? And here it's enough. Yoongi stop the car. He look at Jimin, who is steering him. Who is steering him? Hi, computer चल जा। हाँ चल गया। अब वॉइस ओवर खत्म होने लगा। हाँ। Jimin didn't waste. Who is steering him with shocked eyes? Jimin didn't waste time. He come out from the car. Yoongi also, he hold Jimin hand, and then the rain start. Both are in rain and staying each other. Jimin is not understanding why he is reacting like this. He is in shock and with Yoongi. He is staying Jimin with, and also his eyes are telling Jimin is only him. He belongs to him. No one can. Both are staying each other, and the rain is not ready to stop. The weather is so. Jimin, what the is this, Mr. Min? What are you doing? What you want, huh? Yoongi, what I am doing? I am asking you this, Jimin. What you are doing? How can you do a job in a cafe? Jimin, or what I do, huh? Where I do job? I am student, and why I am giving you explanation? Who you are to me? Yoongi, really? Who I am to you, Jimin? You are just my teacher and my brother, nothing else. Yoongi, I am not your brother. I am not your brother, he said, and Jimin is shocked. Jimin, yeah, you know what you are saying, Yoongi. Yes, I know, and I am not your brother. And it's true, he said, and Yoongi looked at him, his eyes is, Jimin, you become, how can you, my sister, like this? Yoongi, I don't do this. यार ईमान करी, ईमान एंटर करी, ईमान एंटर करी। हाँ, I don't do anything. My mom, me too with her. I give you promise, nothing else, but I can't. I simple. Jimin sign as no. He take his step back. He can't believe what happened suddenly. Jimin, you are that much. I don't. I don't know, Mr. Ramin. He start crying. What, Jimin? Is someone is Jimin? You know you are my sister. Still, you, Yoongi, what you said, what you, I said something to you, huh? You ever feel I have? Tell me, Jimin. Jimin, he said it about to go. Yoongi hold his hand and turn him. Yoongi, what you, huh? You are me without any reason. Jimin, I have a reason. I have. Yoongi, what is my fault? Tell me. Jimin, your fault is you, me. Yoongi, you are right. It's my fault, and it's my fault. I do promise with you. I make your sister happy. Yoongi, Jimin, you can't make her happy. How can a single person make? How can a person make her happy? This about this brother Yoongi. You are not my brother. Can't you understand a simple thing, Park Jimin? He Jimin take a step back. Yoongi hold him by his shoulder. Yoongi, I am not right. Tell me what I do, huh? You are calling me Jimin. Just tell me. Just tell me, Jimin. It's not. It's enough. Huh? You watch my sister. Yoongi, you said me this when your sister don't stay happy. Don't stay happy. Don't expect anything from me. Park Jimin, remember this Min Yoongi into Park Jimin, and I never gave her. I'm only Jimin. Don't be Mr. Min. We don't have any connection, Yoongi. I don't know about all this. I said you truth, Jimin. Don't. My sister life, Yoongi. I don't. It's not only your sister, and it's not only about your sister. It's about me also, Jimin. Jimin, Mr. Min. It's nothing. It's just attraction. Believe me. To call my attraction, Jimin. Jimin, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? यार man, YouTube चला दे. Why are you doing this with me, Mr. Min? You want me to? Yoongi, what I said to you? Tell me, Jimin. I said I don't with you, or I said I don't make your sister happy. Jimin, you promise you give her all the Yoongi sanas, no? Jimin, if you me, Mr. Min, then you have to do this. Yoongi, this is wrong, Jimin. Jimin, if you do this for me, Mr. Min, you have to do this, Yoongi. You also have to do something for me. Jimin, I am ready. Yoongi, first listen, Jimin. I don't care about anything. I am ready. He said, and Yoongi is trying him. Yoongi, don't me later. Jimin, I do everything just for my sister happiness. He said, and Yoongi sadly smiled. Yoongi, huh? This is how I can do everything for you. He said and went to Jimin. He held him by his shoulder. Last Alexa, Iman चला दे YouTube. Iman, यार चला दे. यार चला दे. यार चला दे. नहीं ना, टेक्स्ट वॉइस ओवर वाला नहीं, इसलिए मैं तेन कहनी कंप्यूटर चला दे. मेरा टाइम पास हो यू. देख ला. चला दे. हाँ ईमान. हाँ ईमान चला दे. ईमान 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 चला दे. ईमान ईमान. Still 10 seconds are left. Astaghfirullah. Still 10 seconds are left. Okay, he holds him by his shoulder with Jimin and closes his eyes. Yoongi back. Jimin take a step back. Jimin, Yoongi, now I complete my promise to make your sister happy. He said, and he go from there. Jimin is alone on the rainy road. He places his hand on his and see. He closes his eyes and sit on the middle of the road and start crying. He don't care about surroundings and anything else. He start to Yoongi more. He don't believe Yoongi do this with him. What he do if on one side on one side is Yoongi, then on the if on one side is Yoongi, then on the other side is his Nona. He wants his sister happiness, nothing else. He don't his sister, and she don't want his sister don't stay happy, and because of this he do all this. He know if Yoongi do the promise, he kept his promise also. Jimin is crying continuously. His crying voice is clear to hear. Ji is crying, and then a car comes. Jimin look up, he see the lights, and he close his eyes, and then blank. And here my voiceover is finished.